Wednesday, mostly third downs, red zone. Biggest thing I emphasize to the guys about being disciplined. Still got some mental errors and things like that we've got to clean up tomorrow. Continue to focus on not falling back into how we've always done things, to keep pushing forward to get better every day. Elected captains today, or actually they've been in the process over the last week. I have a different approach in how we do that. Our captains are for the year, and we take the input of people that have merit. It's not a popularity vote where everybody votes. It's the people that have worked hard, that have earned that right. We don't have our freshmen actually, we don't have them vote. They actually vote on freshman leaders because they haven't been here long enough. We would like to really understand who the leaders are. But on defense is Miles Caragine.
Correct. Correct, sir.
All right. Antoine Reed. I was pretty excited for Antoine. That was big. Jared Holly is our 3 defense. All right. And then on offense was Shanahan, Jacobson, and Tino Sinceri, which was pretty exciting. I told Tino today, I think if we had voted on that in the spring, I don't think that would have happened. He's made great strides. It means he has the respect of his team, and that's exciting for me. That's right. I think he's done a phenomenal job. We have those are the captains, our leadership council, which is kind of like co-captains. On offense is Gibbs, Nix, and Ray Graham. Really proud of Ray. Chaz, Gruder, and Hendricks on defense. Our sophomore leaders, our leadership council is K1 Williams and Devin Street, and then our freshmen are Grigsby, Pitts, and Price. So I know it's a lot of names, but basically our captains, we have 7 captains. The one I left out, which I shouldn't have left out, is our special teams captain, Taglianetti. All right, and that was pretty much unanimous. Shanahan, Jacobson, and Miles were all unanimous. That means everybody that voted, which are strength staff, trainers, managers, actually players and coaches. So real excited about that. And I talked to him about that now that those guys have got to take and they got to lead the football team. That we're going to get out of them what we're going to get out of them. But to win a championship, they're going to have great leadership from amongst them. So we're excited. Had a great day today and moving forward. And boy, can't wait to get out on the field.
Coach, what have you seen from Tino that's allowed him to earn the respect of his teammates? What has he changed, or has he stayed true to himself, and it's just he's been able to handle the situation?
I think you have to be genuinely who you are. I think that a lot of guys grow up and they think being a leader is breaking down the group and giving a speech. I think what Tino has done is not said a word. He's just become one of the hardest working guys out there. And he's the first guy sprinting on the field. He's the last guy sprinting off the field. He sprints to every drill. He comes in and studies more film than anybody. And I think he's just kept his mouth shut and worked. And I think that's what a leader is. I mean, that is what people follow. It's just like on our offense. There's no question when things get tough, and you watch practice, things get a little tough, things get a little hard. There's one guy that steps in the middle of his vocal. It's Nix. Nix is a guy that so I mean that's what I've tried to get him to see, because a lot of guys don't see themselves as a leader. So there's different ways to lead. I think our emotional leader is Nix. I think Tino. The thing that excites me is that his peers respect him. And that's big. I think it's really big at quarterback, because we're not going to make anybody captain that doesn't earn it from his peers.
And Antoine Reed sort of that same way.
I was real excited for him. I mean, and that was one that sometimes I've been pleasantly surprised. He has hit the summer that he had is phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. He might be as I know he was a good player last year, but over the summer when he reported to camp and what he's done at this point, he's really put himself in position to take his game to a different level. And he has a very a special rapport with his teammates, and you could tell that. And that's something that I thought was impressive to me.
Is that by the design to have 3 juniors and 3 seniors?
Usually, I've had 2, I've had 4, I've had 6. We went with 3 on offense and 3 on defense because there were so many lumped together. It's the most votes I've ever seen 3 offensive linemen get. I've never seen that many 3 offensive linemen get that many votes from their teammates. I'm talking about, Jacobson, who was actually made captain, and then our co-captain, or what we call our leadership, and we call it our unity council is what we call it. So they're like co-captains is Gibbs and Nix as well. So Ray was a guy that had a lot of respect from his peers and stuff. So all these guys had to receive an enormous support from their teammates, and the only other one that I didn't mention, I think, was Lindsey. Lindsey's defensively, he's on the leadership group, and that's kind of what happens on a team. You have those guys that everybody does everything right, people really respect. I think Miles is that guy. I think Shanahan. Those are guys that do, pretty much the Pitt way is how they live their life and do everything they do. And what we have to have some people that maybe fall in the middle, really step forward where people go like, hey, wow, look at that. What's got into that guy? That's what you have to have some special things occur, because I think these things are more important than all the schematics and all those things, is getting guys to buy in. And I think they've bought in, and we got to have some dramatic stands of leadership, and that'll determine our future more than what we do schematically.
Todd, I know Nick's a pretty good tackle. What do you like about him at guard? Makes him more effective.
I think he's got a chance to be one of the best guards in the country. Not that he could be one of the best tackles, but I think he's a phenomenal guard. I think it makes us a better football team, because I think we're stronger inside. The things we do in Poland with our run game and with our pass game protections, it makes us so much more sound from the inside out, having him and Jacobson at guard. And Hollins has just come on so well that that's our best lineup. So having him and Gibbs right beside each other has been a positive as well. So I do, if you ask me personally, I do think he's a better guard than he is a tackle, and he's really good at both.
Coach, you've been through this a number of times in your career. First day's coming up. How does your mentality change the rest of the week? And do you still get the butterflies, and especially this year with a new program?
If you don't get a little nervous, there's something wrong with you. I get more excited. I love competing. I try to really be poised down the stretch with them. I want them to see that we're confident. The key for us is don't go beat ourselves. And so how do you balance that with putting in the left lane, putting the hammer down? There's a balance there, and I think they got to see that demonstrated in their coach, and I think they watch that, and I'm very honest with them too. I don't try to tell them things are great. I told them, hey, we didn't have as good a Tuesday as we needed to have up front on the defensive line, and I told them that. I'm always honest with them. I don't try to mislead them. We got to get better every single day. But be poised. I don't think it does. On game day, I am passionate. I'm going to be genuinely who I am. I'm passionate. But 99.9% of what comes out of my mouth is going to be positive, and it's going to be with poise. Okay, but I'll get excited every week. I'll give a couple of fist pumps every once in a while, but not really that nervous, because I just I don't know. I think I get the butterflies from excitement. I like to compete. There's nothing like game day. It's just everything's different about game day to me, and there's nothing in this world that I've ever found that matches it, even in the ballpark. I guess I should say nothing, because my wife would kill me. But outside my family and my faith, man, there's not a whole lot, man, to make you feel like game day, and being in the arena and stepping onto that field and being a warrior on game day, man. That's I get to get right next to it, but I don't actually get to step on. So I have to kind of really work to scale back my my intensity, my emotions a little bit, because I'm definitely not I'm not a defensive coordinator anymore. I'm a head coach. I'm not a player anymore. I'm coaching. So we try to take a very poised but genuine approach to how we prepare, and I want them to see that I'm confident. And I am. I'm confident.
With tempo being